There we go. Perfect. All right. Welcome. As always with this quarter, we are coupling it with our 100 Days of Greatness training that we are running in the office. That being said, if you're not doing the 100 days of training, you can still do exactly what it is that we're teaching because all the same principles apply. So today we're supposed to be covering the 3-attempt approach with phone calls, which is a fabulous way to do your phone calls. I highly recommend it. That being said, I felt like we needed some more background on that, especially if you're not attending the 100 Days of Greatness training, of why we would be doing phone calls, number one. And number two, how to interact with our database. Part of the 100 Days of Greatness training, the main part of it is really digging into your database. I am a big fan of digging into your database. I think if you work your database appropriately, that's where all your business is going to come from. And not only that, but it should be. And if you're like, but Amy, I don't have a database, or Amy, I don't have like people. I don't know people. I'm new to the area. That's fine. The database is not just people you know. It's all the people you don't know as well. So it's all the people you meet at an open house, people you run into at events and mixers. If you have children, those parents of your children's friends, or those that have other kids in sports with you. You can join places like chambers. You can do business to business lead generation. It doesn't matter how you generate names to put in your database. Anybody you come in contact with, you should get contact information for, and you should put it in your database. This principle doesn't just apply to real estate, it applies to any job ever, okay, or any role or any sales, right? You should you probably get like 10 emails a day from businesses you do business with reminding you that, hey, we're still here. Hey, we're still here, right? But we want to move beyond emails and into more relationship building, which helps us to solidify that relationship faster. Okay. So last week, I think it was last week, it may have been the week before, but we talked about how to utilize our print centers like One Print to send out letters or announcements or mailings. One of those main reasons is once you add somebody to your database, especially if they're inside that circle of influence or your sphere of influence, is you should let them know that you are a real estate agent. Don't be an undercover agent. It's way harder to get business if you're undercover than if you're out in the open. So let people know that you have your real estate license. They'll be more likely to do business with you if they know they can do business with you. So that's our first thing, is you want to send an announcement letter to your database. Let your contacts know that you are a licensed realtor. Let them know in your heart why you got into real estate, the benefits of working with the company that you chose, which in this case is Realty One Group Fox, and let them know what areas you personally service or how you can help them in their real estate journey. Okay. If you have a vendor list, we've talked about that in the past, building up that vendor list, share that with them, right? And let them know that if they need help with any real estate needs, that you can help them in the areas that you service, and in the areas that you don't service, that you can connect them with top agents anywhere in the United States with somebody who's going to take great care of them. Okay. In addition to that mail that you send out to everybody that you know, I would also recommend sending out an email as well to everybody that you have their email addresses, which means that some people are going to get a letter, some people are going to get an email as well. So they're going to get 2 interactions. Okay, we call those interactions or touches. Once you've mailed that letter, sent the email, then you're going to want to call them to make sure that they saw the news. Dun, 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 right? So we will touch on the best way to make those calls in that 3-attempt approach here at the end, but I want to go through how to interact with your database first. Okay. For those that you reach on the telephone, okay, so we've sent out a letter, we've sent out an email, we've made a phone call. If we made connection with them on the phone call, I would also send them a handwritten card. Okay. And you can also, the idea there would be, hey, thanks so much for taking my phone call. I know that your time is, limited, and thank you for taking 10 minutes to talk to me. You can send the card out to people you don't connect with as well. That's totally up to you. Um, but you can also send out that introduction with a postcard in the mail. You can find options in that Express Docs print center that would work for you. So I would do a handwritten card to those that actually answered my phone calls, and the postcards to those who didn't. Okay, only because we're going to spend more time, energy, and effort on those that actually are responding and responsive to us than we're going to spend on those who aren't. Okay, so that's the theory there behind that. Okay. So, we want to make sure then, after we make that initial introduction, okay, that we're going to connect with our database. And in doing this, even in mailing out the letters, I would not do my entire database in one day. Okay, mainly because then I'm not going to send out the emails all in one day, because I'm not going to make the phone calls all in one day. If our goal is at least like 200, 250 people in our database, then it's going to be overwhelming to try to make 250 calls in 1 week. Okay. Or sending out 250 handwritten cards, let's say 100 handwritten cards for the people that answered, or sending out those postcards, right? So, what I would recommend is that week 1, we just focus on like 25 people. Okay. It makes it more manageable. So, week 1, you're going to mail out those introduction letters. Okay. Allow time for those to be delivered. So that's all you're going to do week 1. Week 2, you're going to send out emails to the people that you sent letters to during the first week. Okay, see how we're creating like a flow here? And then you're going to send out letters to 25 new people on week 2. Okay. Week 3, then we're going to start making our phone calls to the first people we sent out letters to week 1. We're going to send emails out to people who got letters week 2. And we're going to send out another round of mailers. Okay, so we're going to work up to our rotation. Okay, I hope that makes sense to everybody. If you have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat, unmute yourself, ask your questions, or throw them in the comments if you're watching this on replay. Okay, the goal here is once we hit week 3, we're in a constant rotation of doing this. Monday's going to be the day that we mail out letters. Okay, the next week we're going to send out the email on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Monday we're going to do the phone calls, reverse. Monday, we're going to do the letters in the mail, and we're going to do the emails, because emails is really just, we touch a button and it goes. Okay. So Monday's always letter and email day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is going to become phone call day. Friday is going to become handwritten cards. Okay. And then starting week 3, we can incorporate postcards in on Monday as well. So Monday will be our mailer day, right? So we're going to mail out letters, send out emails, and then postcards. During the week is when we make our phone calls. Okay. So remember, each week, those that we make contact with, we're going to send that handwritten cards. For those that you don't reach, you can send out those postcards. Okay. We're going to repeat this every week until we have finished introducing ourselves as an agent to everyone in your database. Okay, so we're going to keep working the system. So if you have 200 people in your database at 25 new people per week, it's going to take you approximately 2 months to get through this process of introductions. Okay, I would recommend this be your first step for all the contacts in your database that you know. Okay, mail out the letters, send an email the next week, call to follow up. Then follow up with either a handwritten card or a postcard. Okay. Once you've introduced yourself to each person, then we're going to move them to a more permanent connection plan. I'm going to recommend that you either move them to a 19 plus to connect or a 30 plus to convert. Okay, those people that you haven't talked to for 3 years that are in your database that didn't answer their phones when you called them, okay, we're going to consider those people that we don't have a relationship with. Okay, we did not make connection with them. We don't talk with them on a regular basis. Okay, so those are going to go on a 19 to connect plan. And those that you have relationship with, those that you talk with on a regular basis, those that actually answered their phones when you called, you had a good conversation with them, we're going to put those on the 30 plus to convert. So the idea here is we're going to spend more time, energy, and effort, as I already mentioned, with those that are interacting with us. Okay, so those that are interacting with us, we're going to interact with at least 30 times over the next year. Those that haven't interacted back with us, they didn't respond to the email, they didn't answer our phone call, those are going to be on a 19 to connect. We're trying to still get them to connect with us, to acknowledge that we exist. Okay. There are additional plans because, as I mentioned, I don't care how you generate leads. You may not have a sphere of influence. You don't know anybody. You had amnesia last year and you can't remember anybody from the past 26 years of life, whatever that might be, right? We've got to start all over and make new friends. We need to be lead generating. There are 110 ways to lead generate. None of them are wrong. All of them are right if those are the ones that you're actually going to do. Okay, so I've done lots of classes on different types of lead generation. I've dug into them. Personally, if it were me and I was new to the business and I had amnesia, so I had no circle of influence, I needed to start building my database the quickest way possible, I would start with open houses. Are they my favorite? As a human, no. I am an introvert. They are exhausting. I feel like I'm going to die by the end of an open house. But they're the quickest way to get people through the door that are looking to either buy or sell properties. Okay. And it's the quickest and easiest way to put me in a position where I'm forced to talk to people. Okay. Because given the opportunity, I would move through my day without talking to anybody happily. Okay. So we're going to add those new contacts to our database. Everybody that we talk with, we meet at the grocery store, your business to business contacts, your people who cut your hair, that you went to the dentist office, you hosted an open house, you have a farm, right? It doesn't matter. By farm, I mean frequent area of repetitive marketing, not farm like I have cows and chickens. People who join your social media groups, right? People who are your friends on social media, we're going to add those people to our database. Okay, for everyone that we add to our database that we don't yet have an appointment scheduled with for a buyer consultation or a listing presentation, we're going to put them on a 12 by 1 plan or at least 12 connections, right? We're going to try to reach out to them and make contact with them 12 times in the first week. Okay, our goal here is to get to 12 attempts as fast as possible to build trust and rapport with them. We know that statistics say that you've got to interact with somebody at least 8 times on the most part, on average, for them to want to do business with you. So we're stepping that up. We're going a little overboard with 12 attempts, and we're trying to hit that in that first week so that if they went to an open house and met another agent, we've made connection with them to that. We've gotten to that 8th connection before that other agent even got to 2. Okay, for the first 7 days, okay, 12 times. I think a week is 7 days, but I'm going to try to connect with them in the next 5 days because I'm going to take 2 days off. I need to go horseback riding and get stuff done around the house. So I take 2 days off and work 5 days, not 7 days. So I'm going to work to make these connections in 5 days. 5 days, 12 connections. Hopefully some of these items you can automate and schedule like emails and maybe even text messages, depending on what database system that you're using. If you're using something like our OneSuite system, you can automate those emails to go out during that first week. If you're using something like Zip Forms, Lone Wolf, Transact as your CRM, you can do both emails and text messages through that system. Okay, your first one is going to be a thank you, or it was great text on the day that you met them. Hey, thank you so much for taking time to talk with me today at the grocery store. I look forward to connecting with you more with your plans to buy a house this next year. Okay, whatever that is. Thank you for passing through my open house. Thank you for allowing me to put business cards in your business, right? It was great connecting with you at the home show. I would recommend this thank you be a video because that solidifies who you are as a human, right? They get to see your face again, which helps to make it more personal. Okay, so that first contact, the day that we meet them, we're going to put them in our database. We're going to send out that thank you. Then you're going to call them like once per day starting on day 2. Okay, you're going to make 4 phone calls. You're going to send them 3 emails specific to their situation, right? Were they a buyer or a seller? I recommend emails on like day 3, 5, and 7. Okay, again, we can automate these. And as a bonus, you're going to see if you can find them on social media and work to connect with them there at least 2 times. Comment on a post in the direct message, maybe on day 3. Add as a friend or follow. Day 4, comment on a post. And day 5, send a direct message. For an additional bonus, if you can find their address, send them a handwritten card. I'd recommend it on day 2 or 3. Okay, if at any point during this first week they start interacting with you, excuse me, they respond to your text message, they reply to an email, they message you back on social media, you're going to stop this 12 by 1 plan immediately, and we're going to move them to a 30 plus plan. Okay, 30 plus to convert them into a client. Once they start interacting with us, as long as it's positive, we want to move them over to that plan. So we're not inundating them with stuff, but that they still remember we exist. Okay, if they haven't responded at the end of this first week, don't lose hope. We're going to move them to an 8 by 8 plan. Really, it should be a 1 by 8 plan. Okay, at the end of the week. The 12 by 1 plan, let's see here. We're going to skip that. I'm not even going to talk about that. All right. The 8 by 8 plan, or what I would call is a 1 by 8 plan. It should be renamed. I'm going to do that. I just haven't updated my slides. The goal here is those people who didn't start connecting with us that first week, we're going to move them to a 1 by 8 plan, meaning that we're going to attempt to connect with them 1 time per week for the next 8 weeks. Okay, it's going to be a mix of phone calls, text messages, and emails. You can add in bonus items if you found them on social media or you have their address. The goal is to get them to start responding. So we want to make sure that all your interactions with them have a call to action. You have to ask for a response in order to get a response. Okay, you can always do more than 1 time per week. That's just the minimum. And there's no rule as to what to say for the interactions, but I would highly recommend that you make them specific to their situation. If they're a buyer lead, make the interactions specific to buyers, maybe educating them on the home buying process. And then the same thing for seller leads. Make them seller specific. Emails or text messages about curb appeal, vendors that you have available for them that can help them get their home ready for sale, right? All of those types of things. After 8 weeks, so 3 phone calls, 3 text messages, 2 emails, like rotate through, like week 1's a phone call, week 2's a text message, week 3's an email, 4's, right? So, right, get it? Okay, those are 8. After this, so now we've been attempting to connect with them for 9 total weeks with our 12 by 1 and our 1 by 8. If they're still not connecting with us, they're still non-responsive, then we move them to our 19 plus to connect annual plan. Okay, once we get past here, well, even on the 8 by 8 plan, I would enact the 3 attempt call approach. Okay, week 1, I wouldn't. On the 12 by 1, I would not. On the 1 by 8 plan, I would start with our 3 attempt approach. In our 19 to connect, which I'm going to talk about next, and then our 30 plus to connect, our 19 to connect and our 30 plus to convert, we are going to use the 3 attempt approach. Okay, moving forward, anybody we're trying to connect with, use the 3 attempt approach. You're going to get better response, I promise. Okay, in the 19 plus to connect, we always put the plus, meaning 19 is the minimum. You can always work to connect with them more. Our goal here is to move them from captured, right? We've got their information, but they're not responding to us, to connected. We want to move them into relationship with us. Okay, we're not going to spend, again, as much time on these people who aren't responding to us as the ones that are responding to us. But here's what we should do. 19 interactions. We're going to make 4 phone calls. That's going to be 1 per quarter. Again, I recommend the 3-step approach, which we're going to talk about, or the 3-attempt approach. 12 emails. They're going to get 1 email per month that's going to bring them something of value, a market update, a newsletter, whatever that might be. Usually on the 19 plus to connect, our 12 emails are going to be like a newsletter. Okay, there are newsletters and stuff available to you in our database of either one suite or not one suite, one design or one print. Okay. Invite them to an event and get them 2 things in the mail. Okay. That's the goal. The event could be something like I'm hosting National Night Out in the neighborhood. I'm just inviting anybody to attend. Maybe you're hosting an open house and you remember they kind of were looking in that area or know that area. Invite them to an open house. That's an event. Okay. When they don't show up, there's a whole process around events, the invitation, right? If they don't show up, call them and let them know that you're sad they couldn't make it, right? So there's a whole process there, but at least 19 connections per year. Let's see here. Things in the mail, if you've got their address, it could be like a birthday card and a home anniversary card. It could be a holiday card. It could be like an annual magnet with the year on it. I think I've got one. Look at my chiropractor sends me one every year. Oh, it's blurring out. There we go. 2026. It's on my desk. It's magnetic. It's fabulous. Right? So just something in the mail. Doesn't have to cost a lot. It could just be a card. It could be whatever. People are going to stay on this 19 to connect plan. Thank you for letting me know you're listening, Tabitha. People are going to stay on this 19 plus to connect plan until they start responding to you. So they might be on this plan forever. They may never respond to you. We're never going to take them out of our database because they're always a potential lead. We're always going to make our quarterly phone calls to them. We're always going to send them a monthly newsletter, invite them to an event once a year, right? We're going to systematize this. Once they start responding, or those that responded to our initial introduction, or those that started responding during the 12 by 1, or those that started responding during the 1 by 8, we're going to put them on a 30 plus to convert. This says connect. It should be convert. Okay. Our goal here is to move them from connection to transaction. Okay. Move them from connected to converted. These people we spend more time with because they actually answer our phone calls or respond to a text message or respond to an email, right? There's some sort of relationship going on there. Okay. More is better, which is why we have the 30 plus. I recommend at least 36 interactions. Okay. Again, everyone in our database should get a quarterly phone call. Okay. There is nothing, hear me on this, nothing that can replace this. Can you be a successful agent without calling your database? Yes, you can. Will you close more deals if you pick up the phone and call your database quarterly? Yes, you will. I promise. 100%. We try social media. It's just not going to call per quarter. I highly recommend using the 3-attempt approach, which we will get to. I promise. In addition, they're going to get 24 emails per year. Okay, I recommend 12 monthly newsletters, like on the first of the month, and a monthly neighborhood update or some sort of property search. Those are going to get staggered, so those should come through like middle of the month. Okay, if they're getting like a neighborhood update like middle or so. Okay, so something should be coming to them via email in the middle, something at the beginning. I personally would not email them weekly because you're like, Amy, more is better, or daily. I've got people in my inbox that email me too many times and I just ignore them. So I don't want to get ignored or unsubscribed. So like twice a month, something of value, something they're going to look forward to getting from you. That's what you want to send them. Invite to 2 events. Okay, keep in mind, again, the events are count as 2 touches, but you can incorporate into that calls and mailers as well. Call to invite, call to say thanks for coming or wish you could have been there, a reminder text message. So you're going to get bonus interactions for the event. Okay, so the whole idea of the event is to increase your interactions. Okay, and then send out 2 cards. Okay, they can be for any anything. I recommend personally a birthday card and a home anniversary card. I don't recommend holiday cards as far as like major holidays, but you could make it fun. Maybe you don't have their birthday or something. That's a good reason to call them. But you could also send out like Happy Groundhog Day or Happy Labor Day, Veterans Day, especially if you know they're like a vet, or Memorial Day, maybe you know they've lost somebody, right? So whatever that might be, you can get creative with that. But 2 cards in the mail to them. And then I recommend 4 items, 4 items in the mail. Okay. For your circle of influence and your like VIP group, I recommend pop buys. Okay, remember, so earlier I said, hey, 19 to connect and then 30 to convert, because those that we're in relationship with that actually respond to us, we're going to spend more time with them. Same thing here. Inside of your 30 plus to convert plan, you're going to spend more time with those people that are your cheerleaders. So if they're your cheerleaders, they're like, rah, rah, yay, we love Tabitha. If anybody says real estate, we say Tabitha, right? We want to spend more time with them. So I highly recommend those people specifically get more pop buys than things mailed. Only because it's going to mean more to them and it's going to stand out a little bit more. Okay. So you can drop something fun off. A pop by is something fun. We did one year we did pumpkins around Halloween. Well, actually we did it in November. It was for Thanksgiving, and we just said we're so grateful to have you as a client. And it was just one of the mini pie pumpkins. Well, it wasn't really the mini ones. It was like the actually a pie pumpkin. So I guess that would be a medium pumpkin, not a baby pumpkin, but medium pie pumpkin. And we dropped those off. One year we did like wrapping paper. We went to the dollar store and got cheap wrapping paper and said, thanks for helping us wrap up another great year. If you go to Pinterest, search realtor pop buys, you'll get a whole bunch of ideas. There's actually companies that do them for you. You don't have to make them yourself. Those are more expensive because, you're paying them for their time versus taking your time back. Okay, so drop something off on their door. You could stop by for a visit, right? Invite to coffee if they're really one of your cheerleaders, right? So for those people that are really invested in helping us be successful, elevate the level of interaction that you do with them. The whole point of these 4 interactions down there towards the bottom are that they're going to be a little bit more personal. Okay, so elevate that, invite for coffee, drop something fun off on their door. For the rest of the database that maybe isn't part of your VIP group or your circle, you can just pop something in the mail. Again, it could be like a yearly fridge magnet. It could be a closing statement. If they closed on a house this past year, every January, you should be dropping off a copy of that closing statement so that they have it to do their taxes. Because I can guarantee you everybody needs a copy of that and they can never find it when it comes time to do taxes. So drop off a copy of their closing statement in January. You could do once a year. I would do a CMA report to everybody in my database that I had addresses for. Okay, you can use RPR for this. It makes it really easy to run like a quick and dirty CMA report with an average value for their property. Okay, especially if they live in like regular traditional neighborhoods. Pop that in the mail to them, or additional holiday cards. That's where that like Groundhog Day or Labor Day or Happy 4th of July might come into play. Let's see, we already talked about for closings and that. Okay, so remember here, 30 plus is the minimum. More is always better. But don't take that to the extreme and start doing like 60 interactions, because now that's like an average of 5 or 6 per month. You might be inundating them. They might hate you and start blocking you. And we don't want that either. All right. Our 30 plus connect level up. Okay, if you want to take it to the next level, because this is really where the money is in these people that are responding to us, add in 4 personalized interactions, send them a note in the mail 1 time per quarter. Okay, and it might be something that you look at in, oh, we'll talk about that in a minute, but send them a note in the mail. So we maybe make the phone call to them and, hey, thanks so much again for taking time to talk about me or talk to me, right? Or it was fun having coffee with you, or gosh, I can't believe we ran into each other at Home Depot, right? Whatever that is, for personalized something in the mail once per quarter. In addition to the phone call, it's part of the 30 interactions. Add in 4 text messages and 4 social media interactions. Okay, I would work that in. So, like, if I'm going to call them this month, if it's the month to call this client in my database, then next month I'm going to interact with them on social media. And the month after that, I'm going to send them a text message. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. The month after that, it's going to be a phone call and then social media and then text message. Okay. It can be an automated text if they live near you, right in your service area. When I say near you, I just mean like in your service area. It could be something like, I was in your neighborhood showing property and passed by your house. How are you doing? We can set that up to be automated. Okay. You could set that up so that once a quarter they get an email similar to that, but not the same one, because then they're going to know it's automated. But you can set up your system to drop some sort of similar text message to them. You can step up the events from going from 2 events to 5 events. Add in some happy hours, a fall festival, trunk or treat, hot cocoa bar, friendsgiving, right? The possibilities are endless. Maybe for you also have a farm, a frequent area of repetitive marketing. You're doing a like a shred event there for your farm. Invite your database to the shred event. Okay, make it easy. Capitalize on what you're already doing. There's concerts in the park. Invite people to those. If you're like, Amy, how would I invite my whole database to happy hours? Well, just invite like 10 to happy hour. Whoever you talk to this week, invite them to the happy hour right at the end of the week. Make that the whole point of your phone call. Pay attention to what your contacts have going on in their lives. Watch social media, send cards for major life events, things like deaths in their family, new pets, lost pets, marriages, childbirths, and more. Don't hesitate to celebrate with your clients, okay, or send condolences when appropriate. And if you find some charities or community events to support, it gives you a couple of additional interactions as you promote the event, the drive, or charity, right? So maybe like once a month you do a fun like coat drive for you do something for charity or for the community, right? So maybe one month we do a canned food drive, one month we do like blankets for dogs at the SPCA, one month we do stuffed animals for police officers to have in their trunks for when they run into children. Maybe the month after that, we do coats for kids, right? Every month you could have a theme, and then you could reach out to your database to let them know how they could donate to that cause. Or maybe you buy up a whole table at a crab feed and invite your whole database to join you at the crab feed. First 10 to RSVP, get the spots, right? Make it fun. So anyways, there's some ways to level up your connections on those that are responding to you. That might also be a good way to get those people in your 19 to connect to start responding to you if you invite them to things. So just throwing that out there. Bonus here, we're almost to the 3 attempt approach, I promise. But here's another bonus. Anytime we have a conversation with people, we want to do a Ford sandwich, which is family, occupation, recreation, dreams. When we call them up, we want to open the conversation, not do you want to buy or sell a house, but hey, how's your family? How's work going? What are your plans this year, right? What are your goals? You got anything fun coming up? Then we're going to dive into the business portion of the phone call. Hey, I noticed that I was missing your birthday and I send everybody birthday cards. I wasn't able to send you one. What's your birthday? Okay. One good way, like missing email addresses and stuff, trying to fill in that missing information is, hey, I have your email as tabitha@gmail.com. Is that still the right email? Oh, no, that's not my email. Oh, perfect. What's the right email? Right now, instead of can I have your email, it's, oh, I thought I had it. Okay. And then you're going to finish up the phone call with that Ford again. So at the beginning, talk about family, occupation, recreation, dreams, dive into whatever it was business wise you wanted to share with them. Always make sure that you ask them who they know that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. And then wrap up with, gosh, I hope you have so much fun on your vacation. I hope work gets better for you. Gosh, I'll keep your family in my prayers as you head into surgery next week, right? Whatever that is, wrap it up at the end with that Ford sandwich, because now we focused on relationship, not business, right? They remember the beginning, they remember the end, which was relationship. So that's your Ford sandwich. Your other bonus for today is I recommend doing a 30-minute review each week. Okay, at first it's going to take a little longer, but after you get the hang of it, it's going to take you about 30 minutes a week just to clean up your database. Step one is every lead that you haven't connected is to make sure that every lead that you've added to your database, I'm going to eventually wrap my brain around this. Every lead that you've added to your database should be on a 19 plus to connect plan. Okay, or should be on a 30 if they're already interacting with you. Make sure they're on one of those plans so that you remember to connect with them at the appropriate times. Okay, is every buyer in your database on a property drip? Make sure they're all set up to get property drips. You can make it if somebody was like, yeah, I think I want to buy this year, then they probably shouldn't get like an update every time a house hits the market, but maybe once a week they should be kept up to date of the new properties that kind of match their what you guess is their criteria, what they think is their criteria, like once a week. You can set up berries to drip on them at different intervals. Okay, so you can set it up monthly, you can set it up weekly, you can set it up daily or immediately. So set it up appropriately, but make sure that they're on that property drip. Anyone who isn't on a property drip should be getting a neighborhood update. Okay, you can set that up through either OneSuite or you can set it up through berries. Are you connecting with contacts with recent activity, right? So if your CRM, your database allows you to see who's opening emails, who's clicking on properties, who's doing all those things. If you can see that recent activity, connect with those people who have recent activity and make sure that all your tasks are being done when they are due and before they become overdue. Okay, if any of those are missing, make sure to remedy the issue. Okay, so now let's dive into that 3-attempt approach. So everybody in our database should be getting a phone call at the very minimum once per quarter. If they're on the 1 by 8 plan, right? They didn't respond to the 12 by 1. Now we're on our 1 by 8 where we're reaching out to them once a week. I would have them on this 3-attempt approach as well. It's how I like to tackle all of my phone calls. Okay, so if I'm calling in our example previously, we are making phone calls on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, but it doesn't matter which 3 days, any 3 days out of the week. It might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It could be Monday, Thursday, Friday. It could be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. It doesn't matter, just 3 days. I like to leave Fridays open because that's when I'm going to send out all the cards for the week. And I like to leave Mondays open because they tend to be a little hectic anyways coming back. So I like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's just my personal opinion. Okay. I'm going to get the people that I'm going to call this week. So with our initial introduction letter that we sent out, we sent it out to 25 people. And then we sent out 25 emails to those same people the next week. And now week 3, we're going to make those phone calls. I'm going to take that list of 25 people and I'm going to call through the entire list of all 25 people on Tuesday. Okay? I promise not everybody is going to answer. If everybody does answer on Tuesday, your week just got a whole lot easier because you just freed up your Wednesday and Thursday. But chances are like 5 people out of 25 are going to answer their phones on the first call. Okay? If they don't answer, if they do answer, I'm just going to go into my forward conversation, right? Family, occupation, recreation, dreams, and then the purpose of my phone call, whether it was getting an email address from them or making sure that the contact information was accurate or making sure that the property search I set up was what they wanted, right? Wrap it up with family, occupation, recreation, dreams, right? Forward sandwich. If they don't answer, I'm going to send them a quick text message, something like, the first day I'm going to leave them a voicemail. So I'm going to call them. They don't answer, I'm going to leave them a voicemail, something like, hey, it's Amy. I was just looking to touch base with you. I will try you later this week. Okay, not long, not complicated, right? Just something simple. It's Amy. I was looking to connect with you. I'll try you later this week. Day 2. Everybody who didn't answer day 1 gets another phone call on day 2. Okay, right? I've already warned them in their voicemail that, hey, I'm going to call you again. So now they're watching for my phone call. So their chances of me answering, because now they're like, oh, and now I've saved that. That was Amy's number. I didn't realize that was Amy. Now I've saved her. So when she calls again, I can answer because I'm afraid to answer people I don't know. But she left me a message. So day 2, I'm going to call those people I didn't get on day 1. If they answer, again, I'm going to have that conversation with them that I was planning to have. If they don't answer, instead of leaving them a voicemail message this time, I'm going to send them a text message. Something really similar to the voicemail message I left on day 1 is the text message on day 2. Hey, it's Amy, just looking to touch base. I'll try you later this week. Okay. My goal here is not to engage them in a text message conversation and distract me from my phone calls. I really want them to answer my phone call so I can have a voice-to-voice conversation with them, because I can build relationship better with them voice-to-voice. So that's the goal. If they do text me back, I am going to respond to that text message, maybe even set up a time to call them on my 3rd day. Okay. Day 3. So maybe now another 5 people answered. So now we're out of like 10 out of 25 people. Okay. So we're gaining up on almost 50% versus like the original like 20% that answered. Day 3, I'm going to call all the people I still haven't talked to. If they don't answer still, I'm going to leave a voicemail message and send a text message. My voicemail message is going to be something like, hey, it's Amy. I'm sorry we weren't able to connect this week. Please reach out if you have any questions, real estate related, or any other needs. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Right now, I'm stating the purpose of my phone call because I'm done calling them. I'm also going to send a text message that basically says the same thing. That way, whether they listen to their voicemail or see their text message, they know that I did call again, which I told them I was going to, and I'm setting them free. I'm done making a phone call to that person until the next quarter. Okay. By doing the 3 attempt approach, oftentimes we just call through those 25 numbers. Our pickup rate is generally closer to like 10%. Okay. We might get 2 or 3 that answer. By doing the 3 attempt approach, I usually move it closer to 75 to 80% of the phone numbers I dial answer. Okay. So it's a much higher ratio. So it's winning. So that's the 3 attempt approach. So everybody I would call once per quarter, I would use this approach with them to get higher answers. Okay. And then other bonus for social media. Okay. If you want to move yourself up in the algorithms, if you're posting on social media, here's what I would recommend. And this gets you in front of more people. It gets more people seeing your post, and it gets you seeing more people's posts as well. Each day, comment on 5 different people's posts. Okay, so maybe if we had the 25 people we're supposed to be calling this week, or the 25 people we called last week, then on Monday, right, I find their posts on social media and I comment on them. Okay, and I respond to 5 people's posts, right? A response would be one of the little like emoticons, one of the little emojis. Don't do a thumbs up though, do like the 10 other options that you have. You don't get rated the same in the algorithms for the thumbs up. And then post at least 1 times per day. Okay, so that would be the ideal thing to help get you up there. Also, you want to make sure more posts are always better. So 3 would be better. Do a mix of reels and stories and regular posts. You can do a mix of like text and pictures as well. And then also make sure that you respond to all comments on your post with either a response, right, the reaction, or an actual comment itself. So that'll help you kind of get in front of more people, because if we can get in front of more people, even on a personal level, it helps to just build that relationship and solidify who we are and what we do. When you're posting on social media, 80-20 rule. Okay. So for every 5 posts, 4 should be personal, 1 should be business related. Okay. 80-20 rule. All right. But that was a 3 attempt approach. So call 3 days each week on the same phone numbers. Dun, dun, dun. Make it systematic. Make sure to set your CRM so that you know who you're calling each week, so that we don't have to dig through and find that. We can tag people with what week we're supposed to call them. We can set tasks in there. There's all sorts of options so that we know who to call each and every week. If you're never mind, I'm not going to do that. But anyways, any questions, thoughts? Oh, we've lost Tabitha. She has moved on. So I'm going to wrap up for today. If you're watching this on replay, you have questions, you need clarity, feel free to reach out. I'm available text message, social media. You can comment on the video. I look forward to connecting with you at the end of the week. All right, we'll talk to you soon.